Last week, Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul said the government approved the abrogation of the Memorandum of Understanding signed with Cambodia in 2001 to settle their overlapping maritime claims. He said the negotiations under the document, commonly known as MOU44, over the past 25 years have produced no headway. The Thai Prime Minister insists that the scrapping of MOU44 has nothing to do with the ongoing border conflict with Cambodia, but it was part of his policy statement. In fact, scrapping MOU44 had also been mentioned in Phumjai Thai Party's election campaign. Future negotiations with Cambodia will be done under the frameworks of international laws, specifically the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. Following the decision, Cambodia's Foreign Minister Prasukhon expressed regret over the termination and said the country has no option but to settle the boundary issue under processes outlined in UNCLOS. Thailand and Cambodia are both signatories to UNCLOS. Cambodia signed the document in July 1983, but did not ratify it until January this year, while Thailand ratified the treaty in 2011. Cambodia's Senate President Hun Sen also posted on his Facebook, stating that he supports its government's use of UNCLOS to settle the dispute. Hun Sen pointed to Thailand's political instability, which he claims caused the lack of progress under the agreement, while stating that Cambodia has not changed its negotiation mechanisms. Shortly after, Thai and Cambodian prime ministers met on the sidelines of the ASEAN summit in Cebu. In the presence of Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos, Thai and Cambodian leaders said that they have agreed to work towards a lasting peace that would end a decades-long border dispute.
Moving forward, we have tasked our two foreign ministers to engage in further discussions in detail and carry them forward in a practical and result-oriented manner, just like the President has mentioned.
Prime Minister Hun Manet and I agreed to assign our foreign ministers to work together closely on a list of practical confidence-building measures, starting with issues where we have common ground and can be implemented immediately. These measures would be key to restoring trust and gradually rebuilding our bilateral relations.
Meanwhile, Anutin insists that Hun Manet was officially informed of Thailand's decision to withdraw from MOU44. Anutin said Hun Manet was disappointed with the move and told him that Cambodia would pursue compulsory conciliation under UNCLOS. Anutin posted on his Facebook page responding to Cambodian media reports, claiming that Thailand had not yet formally notified Cambodia of the decision. The Phnom Penh Post also reported that Thailand had agreed to use UNCLOS as the mechanism to address maritime disputes following the cancellation of the MOU. Thailand's Foreign Minister Sihasak Phongketkaew also dismissed the same Cambodian media reports. Sihasak said Cambodia appeared to be trying to draw conclusions before formal negotiations had even begun. He insisted that Thailand would not allow itself to be placed at a disadvantage in future negotiations and stressed that the main objective is to restore bilateral relations rather than allowing either side to claim victory. In fact, there are arguments back and forth as to why MOU44 needs to be scrapped. MOU44 is a Memorandum of Understanding signed between Thailand and Cambodia in 2001 concerning maritime boundary negotiations between the two countries in the Gulf of Thailand. Apart from aiming to address overlapping maritime claims, the agreement also seeks to facilitate joint development of undersea natural resources such as oil and gas. And this is different from MOU43, which is a separate agreement concerning land border demarcation. The idea of scrapping MOU44 has surfaced under several past Thai governments, but it was the current administration led by Anutin Charnvirakul that has officially scrapped the agreement. He said that MOU44 should be abrogated because there has been little progress over the past 25 years. There are, however, several other reasons behind the move. A study that was published in 2012 by the chairman of the Fisheries and Allied Industries Committee of the Board of Trade of Thailand outlined several arguments for withdrawing from the MOU. One particular argument is that Cambodia's maritime claims allegedly violate international laws. So if we look at this map, this was how Thailand and Cambodia drew the lines. Cambodia's lines are in blue and Thailand's claims are in red. And as you can see, Cambodia has drew the maritime boundary line which overlaps Gut Island, which is a very popular tourist destination in Thailand. But Thailand insists that the island is in Thai territory and that the maritime boundary is inconsistent with international law. Another argument is that MOU44 weakens Thailand's negotiating position by allowing Cambodia to avoid revising disputed maritime claims while still gaining leverage in talks over joint development areas. It also argues that Cambodia has long pushed for the overlapping maritime area to become a joint development zone without revising its maritime claims. The issue is also tied to potential oil and gas reserves in the overlapping area. The same study argued that many of the petroleum reserves are likely concentrated on the western side of the Gulf. Therefore, a joint development framework without clear maritime boundaries could place Thailand at a disadvantage. Another issue being raised is the possibility of political conflicts of interest. Some critics argue that MOU44 was negotiated unusually quickly under the government of Thaksin Shinawatra, raising suspicions about political influence by political and business interests involving elites in both Thailand and Cambodia.